I mean, now it's green. Is it the crossed fingers? Who knows? I just did a bunch of different things to try to make this happen. And I'm really hoping it's the crossed fingers. I'm really thinking that that might be all it was. It could have been, it could have been, it could have been that my crossed fingers did nothing and that all of the other things were actually the things that made this happen. Because I changed some numbers, I signed in and out. I was like, this is going to be a quick one, guys. And then, boom, we're out of there. That would be I mean, if there was anything, I don't know. I don't know if funny is the right word for it. It may be disappointingly humorous. Funny's a strong word. I like to save that for things that make you laugh. But humorous, anything can be humorous. You know, humorous, it could just be something like where you just recognize like a good emoji placement. When you're reading a text and you're like, "What is that emoji?" Oh, that's humorous. We have our ink, but we are going to do this quick. Cuz now I have even less time to do this. So that's okay. Where's my freaking needle? There we go. And then maybe tomorrow we'll do the fill-in. Today we'll do a re-outline. Maybe I won't even finish the outline today. I'm just being honest. Let's be honest. Remember that? Tosh.0. Gulp. Okay. And then I just need a little bit of lube. Yeah, we're going to make this quick. Sorry, I'll stop saying that. But I'm going to say it again right before the end of the stream. Right before I get off. I'm going to say this was a quick one more time. And don't be mad. And don't be mad. Okay, I have lube on my finger, but I want to wash my skin first, so I'm going to move the lube over to this finger. And then I can wash my skin really quick. Just to make sure that there isn't something going on in my life right now that would cause an infection that I don't know about. Now, I don't technically believe in infections, and that may make me a terrorist. You know? Someday I might literally be referred to as a terrorist for talking about how I don't believe in infections. And I just need you to understand, and anybody else, that's right, I was talking to you. And when I say everybody else, that's when I'm talking to everybody else. But for you to understand that when I say I don't believe in infections, I'm not trying to discredit anything that you might call an infection that you've experienced. I just don't think it's from what you think it is. Now, are there poisons? Sure. Are there toxins? Sure. And if you get something toxic in your skin, it can cause your skin to do a lot of things that people will call an infection. But I don't think it's just from, like, necessarily just being dirty. I think there's a lot of dirty things in this world. And there's a lot of open wounds in this world. Maybe I should reconsider. Maybe there are infections. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But as long as I got a green box, I know the Lord is blessing me with this stream, and that's all that matters. So thank you, Lord. Let's just start off. Maybe we should start off every stream with a thank you to the Lord for allowing us to communicate this way. Because this is wild. Isn't it kind of crazy that I can just click a button and now here we are? I mean, come on. Please, Lord, help me to control my elevator eyes. Because everybody knows how hard a time I have controlling those eyeballs. Even as I'm talking about it. What do you do? That's gonna be the next level of this stream. That's when I'll like level up. I'll probably start making money doing this somehow. I don't know how, but somehow. When I can control my eyeballs. I really do believe that. And honestly, I don't deserve to get paid to do this until I can control my eyeballs. And by that point, there will be the concern of a bunch of fake scratchers coming in and trying to get me to talk to them when I should be talking to the real scratchers. And that's like the main reason that we've got Scratchers Post. So if you're a real scratcher and you're on Scratchers Post, you don't have to worry about a bunch of fakers coming in and stealing my attention, because we're going to move it over there, the chat, maybe even some streams, to keep it real. So this is going to stay real. Don't you fret. I know you're not really fretting. That may be a bit of my superiority complex, making me think that it matters. I know it doesn't matter. It's going to be okay. This spot must just be bloody. I'm not poking myself that hard. But it really is coming. It really is already getting nasty. I looked up the gore rules on YouTube. Blood isn't their concern. Being shocking, trying to shock people with gore is the concern. But let's just maintain that this is red ink. I've got red ink coursing through my veins, and every once in a while you poke a little hole and the red ink comes out. It's not blood. I bleed red ink. Which is really cool, if we're being real for a minute. It's pretty cool. And it really does contribute to the fact that I am the stick and poke king. I mean, who else has red ink in the inside of them? How am I functioning? I don't know. Apparently you don't need oxygenated blood moving through your heart and into your muscles and throughout your body to survive on this planet. I guess all you need is the Lord. You just need God. And then you can have a body full of ink, just ink and skin, and you can still walk around on this planet. It's cool. It's very lucky that we have the Almighty looking over us and keeping us going, no matter what we have in our veins. That's something, I don't know, this probably isn't something that needs to be discussed here, but I really am trying to figure out, like, what does it mean to use the Lord's name in vain? Because I think it's pretty sweet. I think it's pretty, like, awesome. Hey, Sassy, what are you being a dork about? I think God's awesome. But vain and vanity is about trying to seem awesome. So, if I talk about God and how awesome it is to have God in your life, is that a vanity thing? Am I being vain? When can I talk about it? Should I just never talk? But then it also says you're supposed to talk about it all the time. You're supposed to be constantly praising the Lord. So, yeah, I get confused. But I think I'm trying my best. Isn't that enough? But then it's like, well, is this the part of me? Is the part of me that keeps bringing up the Lord the part of me that wants attention? Am I just trying to get attention through the Lord? It's tricky. I mean, it shouldn't be that tricky. This light is fucking up everything. How do I make that not fuck up everything? You know, I feel like a real... Cause I definitely am cool. I'm definitely very... I'm super cool, we can admit that. Don't use his name in a negative way. See, that's what I always thought it was. Like, oh my god. But it says in vain. And that's where I was like, what did they used to mean by that? But yeah, I do think it's mostly reference to, oh my god, when you're like pissed off. Or like, Jesus, when you're mad and you're like, Jesus Christ. I think that's what they're talking about, but, you know, I do worry. And maybe I should stop worrying. Because they also say, don't be afraid. Have no fear. Worry not, ye sons and daughters. So, I guess it's all about intention. I think it's all about intention. What are you trying to do? And that's where I get a little concerned, because, like, well, what are my intentions here? When I keep bringing it up, am I doing it for the right reasons? I don't know. I don't barely know any of my reasons for anything. But ultimately, don't worry. That's the main message. Everything's going to be okay. So maybe someday I'll get to talk to God and I'll be like, yo, was it okay for me to be tattooing and saying stuff about how you're the reason that we get to stream and you're the reason that I'm alive? He'll be like, well, I don't care. Hopefully. Hopefully that's God's reaction to everything is like, what? What? I don't know. Who cares? He'll just be like, I love you. That's what I like to think it is. Maybe I'm overdoing it, though. I don't know. It's just tricky. It's not supposed to be tricky, though. Oh, gosh. Dropping needles. Classic. I'm going to try to adjust this light really quick, because I do not want to have to deal with... I don't like this glare. What is going on with this glare? That's too much glare. Why is it going up? Oh, I know why. And then we bring this down. This is strange equipment. That's the opposite of what I would have expected it to do. There we go. And then this. That's better? Question mark? Oh, geez. Who knows? It's not better. It just officially didn't get better. Maybe if I tilt this up a little bit. It's just, maybe I just have it in the wrong position. That'll do. That'll do, donkey. So yeah, anyways. That's what I was thinking about. Oh, you know what else I realized? Here's a good one. Remember when I was saying I have gum infections? Turns out, I don't have a gum infection. I just have a bunch of canker sores. I think. That's my guess. That's my doctor's guess about it. Is I think I just have canker sores. Which maybe I shouldn't be talking about. Maybe that's gross. But the fucked up thing is, the solution to gum infections and the solution to canker sores are very different. You're supposed to do very different things to get rid of a gum infection from what you're supposed to do to get rid of canker sores. I've been brushing my gums with baking soda all week, 3 times a day. Which is a good idea if you have gum infection, is you gotta clean those things out really good with a brush. But if you have canker sores, you're not supposed to brush those. Especially with something abrasive like baking soda. It makes them worse. And it's very strange. It was a very strange realization. Because the cause of canker sores typically, I mean, it's a little bit dirty mouth, I think. but it's stress. Canker sores are caused by stress. And I've never had multiple in my mouth at the same time. Now, did I not realize that I was stressed out? I knew I was stressed out. I knew I was like stressing over some shit for no good reason, because there's no reason to stress. There's only ever reason to have fun. Everything in this world is just about having fun and enjoying your life. But it was very strange to have the moment of like, wow, I am apparently, through my stress, causing sores to appear in my mouth. What the hell? Can I use the devil's... Am I allowed to use Satan's dominion's name in vain? What the hell? That's very different from oh my god. I think you're allowed to say what the hell. Ye shall not use Satan's dominion's name in vain? That doesn't sound like a rule. This glare is horrible. Yeah, to realize that the worry that I've been experiencing has actually caused sores to appear in my mouth. That's a very strange feeling. Because it's like, wait. It's kind of like acne. Like one time in my adulthood, I had a giant, weird pimple on my face. I wasn't like not cleaning my face. My skin is fine. But stress. Just simple stress can cause all sorts of conditions. Obesity. Maybe. I think there's a lot of conditions that don't get caused by stress, but I think people die from stress. And I always knew that. I always knew blood pressure and death, those can come from stress. But it's very strange, the idea that you could just, something as minor as pimples appearing on your face just because of worry. That's just weird. Because it's that's all I thought it was all in my head. I thought that was just my brain and my heart rate were connected to those. And then now the universe is telling me through sores, through weird little pimples, that I'm worrying too much? Damn. That's messed up. But also beautiful. It's also beautiful in a way. If you're having a lot of angry thoughts or a lot of sad thoughts, it's kind of beautiful that the body is that's really not what you want. Because, you could go through your whole life having negative thoughts, and it could cause you to lose a job or lose a loved one. Maybe they just run away, and then you're like, well, that's just because of this. That's just because of this. You could blame exterior events on the exterior things that those events are occurring through. You could be like, well, I lost my job because my boss is an asshole. When in reality, your boss is always an asshole, and you could keep your job if you were more present, more happy, and trying more and more every day to impress and help the people around you. You could get into a car wreck just from stress, but you would blame the other driver, even though the reason it happened is because you weren't paying attention, because you were so focused on all your negative thoughts. So you would never even know that the reason it happened was coming from inside. But when you start getting pimples and blisters and weird backaches and stomach aches, you can't really blame that on anybody else. So those are really great signs that I mean, sure, maybe it's diet, maybe. But diet causes stress too. So, it's those internal reactions to those feelings that really bring your attention to the fact that you're doing something wrong. It's when your body starts failing you. But then there's also the situation where a lot of people think, my body's failing me because I was born this way. And that may be true. Childhood stress is no shit. When you go through stress in your childhood, it can ruin your adulthood if you go through too much of it. And that's not your fault. You can barely control that. But when you start, and I was lucky enough to not experience too much of that. Yeah, my stepdad made us do chores. Oh, my stepdad makes me do chores. That doesn't really count. That doesn't really count as childhood stress. But a lot of people go through stuff. But to be honest, if we're being honest for a minute, a lot of people experience childhood stress and then they grow from it. And they decide that they're never going to experience that again in their adulthood because of how it affected them in their childhood. So it's not like you get to use that as an excuse. You don't just get to go, well, I had a bad childhood, so I'm going to be mean. Or I'm going to ruin my whole adulthood is going to be fucked up. And I'm not speaking on medical conditions. There's a lot of medical conditions out there. I feel bad about it. I feel bad about all these things I'm saying. Just so you know, if you're thinking this guy's a piece of shit, he doesn't understand my life. No, I don't. I couldn't possibly understand anybody's life, anybody's brain, anybody's body but my own. But just from the few experiences that I've had on this planet, that's sort of what I think is. I think that a lot of things that happen to us in our lives, we just cause with our thoughts. Not in the woo-woo, dream catcher, you manifest your reality kind of way. That's not what I'm saying. That shit's has some truth to it, but I don't really like it. I don't think it's helpful to see things that way, because then it's a little too unbelievable, so it's hard to make, actual actions with that kind of mindset, because you're like, oh, maybe if I wish that my life were better often enough, then it would be. Or if I just imagine that I have $1 million, I'll have $1 million. Probably not. But there is some truth to, whatever's going on inside your brain, it reflects in the real world. However long it takes to make its way out there, you do sort of create the reality that you're living in. So when I'm worried, when I'm like, oh, my life is hard, what am I doing? I don't know where I'm going. If you think about those things enough, your body starts going, oh, really? Oh, you're suffering? Is that what's happening? Okay. Well then, let's create some suffering that you can put that on. If I'm like, I don't have enough money to feed myself. My body's like, really? Your mouth is empty? Let's fill your mouth up with some bullshit. I really need you to come and talk to me. I've been waiting since 4 a.m. and you're only going to allow me 10 minutes to talk to you before you pick up Luna. Please prioritize your relationship. Now that's embarrassing. Well, I gotta finish this poke. Oh, is my face turning red? Oh, am I manifesting my reality right now? How awkward. That's my girlfriend, my wife, my woman, my lady. She wants me to stop streaming so I could go talk to her. That's fair. That's a fair reality. And I did say I would make this a quick one, but it's only been 25 minutes. Okay. Let's see if we can at least get this tail. Don't mind me if I could just... I wish I could delete that comment. That is awkward. Guys, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble with the old lady for streaming and tattooing right now. Oops. Let's just get this tail poked out and through, and then we'll get to it. I gotta go cuddle with her and tell her I love her before I go pick up my daughter. I'm not only gonna talk to her for 10 minutes. See, that was why I have to cut this one short, and I was already going to. But now she's all, damn it. Now everybody knows. Now everybody knows, sweetie. They know my secret. That I'm in trouble with my wife. What am I supposed to do now? Give in? That's not a very good lesson. You want me to just come in there and quit doing this thing? I was on a roll. And I already didn't finish this one yesterday. I'm going to have to block her. I'm going to have to block that lady from commenting on my streams. And then I also can't make it go longer now to counteract, because that's the opposite of helpful. I mean, could I at least do this for 30 minutes? I just need to get this outline done, and then I'll fill it in tomorrow. But tomorrow, this thing's getting filled in. Probably not all the way. It's probably not going to get filled in all the way. But it is going to get filled in. What do? You just keep poking. This tail is the part where that cool little fin, the pointy part, that's the part where I didn't finish it yesterday. And it's the part where it has the most specific shape that I need to make sure to get down before the stencil wears off. 'Cause it is really cool. Alright. I got one more minute. Let's go get this thing. The tides are shifting, folks. For real, for real. Anyways, was I thinking about my wife commenting on my live stream right before that happened? No. See, I didn't manifest this reality. Or did I? Totally possible. Okay. Like I said, I'll say it one more time like I said I would. I have to go take care of some business now. That's outlined. I can fill it in later. But until then, wish me luck, because I'm